We've almost come to the closing session for this track. Let's move into our last session, which is a in conversation on the topic AILM transforming digital accessibility in banking. I'd like to introduce our speakers to you this evening, and as they come forward, please give them a big round of applause. First up, we have with us Priyanka Malisetil. Priyanka is a lead software engineer at Wells Fargo with an overall of 13 years of experience in the IT industry. She's worked across diverse domains such as banking and insurance. Known for her resourcefulness in managing business relationships with key accounts, Priyanka ensures the delivery of high-quality products and services while effectively resolving service-related issues. Welcome, Priyanka. And joining Priyanka and in conversation with her is Rini. Rini is a principal engineer at Wells Fargo. She has over 20 years of experience in the software industry, largely in the financial domain. She's skilled in a diverse set of technologies spanning web applications, data engineering, and machine learning. She's experienced in architecting, building, and maintaining mission-critical applications. Over the years, she has served in several leadership positions. Welcome, Priyanka and Rini, once again, and it's over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm a principal engineer at Wells Fargo. I've been here for 3 years and I've been in this industry for a really long time. They say that you should not ask a woman's age, but feel free to guess my years of experience. In my current field, I'm basically in the cloud engineering and data team, and I'm a key stakeholder in the design, development, and quality delivery of products. In my past life, I've done several roles, such as leadership, management, and technical roles. I'm passionate about building large-scale distributed applications, and I often call myself as an IC star engineer.
Hi everyone, a very good afternoon one and all. This is Priyanka Malisetti, I am from Wells Fargo. I have been working in Wells Fargo from past 7 years. And I have expertise in Pega, Java, automation, and digital accessibility. So prior to Wells Fargo, I worked for Virtusa, Birlasoft, Tech Mahindra, and Virtusa is my fourth organization. And I have done my master's in computer science and MS from BITS Pilani. I traveled all the way from Hyderabad to Bangalore, and I'm really excited to be part of this event today, and thank you for the opportunity. So today I'm here to have an in-person conversation with Rini Sarkar to see how we can leverage AI/ML to address the digital accessibility problems that we are facing today. So let's see how the conversation goes. Hi, Rini.
Hey Priyanka, I've been thinking we need to enable digital accessibility for everyone. So financial stability is an important part of a person's overall well-being. As said by Audre Lorde, it is not the differences that divide us. It is our ability to recognize, analyze, and celebrate those differences.
That's really inclusive thinking, Rini. World Health Organization estimates that around 15% of the population around the world are differently abled, which comes around 1.5 billion. And out of this, millions of people face challenges every day to access the content. We definitely have to break this barrier. So accessibility is not just making the content available for people who are differently abled, but accessible design can benefit everyone.
So think of closed captions, which people who are hard of hearing use it, and at the same time, people who are able also need it when they go into crowded places and when there is a lot of noise.
Smart wheelchairs empower people with limited mobility to perform their tasks independently without depending on anyone. We have machine predictable models which can learn from users' frequent actions and performs automated routines like check my balance or pay my bills while doing the mobile banking.
So we have robots such as Paro and Jibo. Paro is used for therapeutic use, and Jibo as a family robot, which have ML models and help people who have problem in mobility. Asimo, built by Honda, is basically useful to take in voice commands and execute them on the behalf of the user, such as going to the bank and submitting some documents.
People who are visually impaired or low vision, they often rely on screen readers to get the content. So for a screen reader to render the content correctly, the content has to be well structured and it should be properly labeled. Otherwise, the user will miss out the content. So we have AI apps like Microsoft Seeing AI, which will be helpful to identify and describe the objects, people, and scenes around us in real time.
Seeing AI is used to detect the entire scene and provide an explanation on that, not just the object-based model. And it is powered by the capability of YOLO, you only look once, and a few other CNN-based models for predictive text completion.
And people with limited mobility, they often rely on the keyboard navigation instead of mouse. And people with cognitive challenges, they can often get benefit out of clear, simple content, consistent navigation, and even the predictable layouts.
Yes, we have web content accessibility guidelines for these provided by the World Wide Web Consortium, which provides rules for consistent screens, font size, text spacing, and responsive UI.
Very true. There are three different levels of accessibility that any website has to aim for. One is A, AA, and AAA. So A is a very basic level, and AA is the one which most organizations aim for, and AAA is a very high level. So achieving AAA will be very difficult, but it ensures the widest range of accessibility.
Level A provides rules such as captions on images, as well as ensuring that there is proper labeling on forms. Double A provides contrast ratios as well as good navigation for screen readers. And Triple A provides for interactive processing and providing sign language for videos. At the same time, extended text on forms.
Many accessibility laws and standards around the world, it requires at least AA compliance. But despite of this, around 30% of the people still face accessibility challenges every day.
You know what? I've been thinking we need to help people who are neurodivergent. 15 to 20% of the people in the world exhibit some form of neurodivergence due to environmental as well as genetic factors. And the World Health Organization estimates that 1% of the people of the world are in the autism spectrum. 1 in 100 people have autism. And children being the future of our society, we really need to help them there.
True. Neurodivergence can include ADHD, autism spectrum disorder, dyslexia, and others. So neurodivergence individuals, the way they react to environment and people will be very different compared to the normal people. So they have their own strengths, they have their own challenges.
ADHD minds are like jet brains with cycle brakes. Basically, they process a lot of information. At the same time, they're not able to focus on one thing. So a lot of them are good conversationalists. They are creative and they are resilient and they are spontaneous in nature.
To be dyslexic is like having a wide cup of perception but a narrow pipe for processing. So people with dyslexia, they often excel in storytelling, problem solving, spatial reasoning, and even conversation.
People with ASD are like a zoom lens or a high definition camera. Basically, they are able to focus on a single thing and get a maximum out of it. If all of us have seen the movie Accountant, where the person, in the matter of a single day, he spends the records of over 5 years of accounting records and finds the problems there. So a lot of people who are in the ASD spectrum basically have splinter skills. They could have skills in art, music, or mathematics, and some of them have a photographic memory.
Neurodivergence individuals, they often face very high risk of stress, depression, and anxiety, and that get worsened because of the social exclusion. They often try themselves to fit into this neurotypical world, and definitely we have to help them.
People with ADHD need websites that are predictable. Basically, they need to be in control. So websites that have pop-ups or timers and pop-outs, these will not work. And some websites change the content without informing the user beforehand. These are not good design.
And one interesting use case is tuning large language models like GPT, which can be helpful to identify the ways the individuals with ADHD speak and suggest them some kind of suggestions to make their communication clear. We can also make use of these AI apps to set some reminders and alerts. Like we have Replica or XAI, which will be helpful to set reminders and alerts to keep track of the conversational content over time.
People with dyslexia have a problem where they see the words as jumbled up or upside down. So we all know about the movie Tare Zameen Par, where a little boy faces a similar kind of difficulty. So people with dyslexia need screens with good font size and text spacing. There are apps such as Microsoft Immersive Reader as well as Touchlet's Learn Mode, which basically break down complex language into simple text.
And individuals with ASD, they face a lot of communication challenges. So they are very sensitive to loud sounds, bright lights, and crowded places. So we have some AI-powered apps like Brain in Hand, which is really helpful for planning, decision-making, handling unexpected situations by offering them some kind of strategies and problem-solving tools.
Elevate is another app which forms an engaging conversation experience with the person using it, and it is able to improve the person's social communication skills and focus.
It's estimated that around 33% of people with autism, they just avoid visiting the branch due to this sensory discomfort or communication challenges. So augmentative and alternative communication can be really helpful. We can also think of having some interface with some simple icons and terms to show actions and pleasing colors. So what do you think on this, Rini?
Yes, that's a good idea. And apart from that, we could have common phrases which can be recorded and displayed to the user for selection as per the need.
We can also make use of this touch chat that can be actually integrated with banking interface, so the user can express their stress, anxiety, or depression by making use of some words, phrases, or images. So when a user selects an action, they get some kind of confirmation or vibration confirming that their action is acknowledged.
So for people who are artistically inclined, we can have drawing as a mode of communication. So we have Visual Chat GPT that uses clip models, which does exactly that. It answers questions on images and provides explanatory text.
And we can also display the interface in the language of choice for the user, and that will be predetermined based on the user's language preference. So, and this can be really helpful.
Yes, and for new users who are using the interface, we can determine the language based on the region where he logs in. This is not the perfect way of determining the language, but it is a starting point. And as a user gets used to the interface, he can select his own preferred language. The same thing can be done with voice and tone.
Very true. And WebXR can be used to simulate branch banking experience without the actual crowd presence and general hustle in real life. So we have virtual assistants which will be helpful for user to answer their questions, and it can actually help the user to perform any kind of banking and financial transactions.
WebXR can run on any system, on any laptop, on any mobile without the use of expensive headset or goggles. So it is very reachable. It uses WebGL, which basically generates 2D or 3D graphics directly on HTML5. So WebXR can be used for giving product walkthroughs, for educational and training videos, and provide help throughout the user's journey.
We can have a virtual reality using metaverse where people can interact with other people with computer-generated environments.
3D morphable models, such as Basel phase model, can be used to generate avatars, which basically look at emotions of real people and convert them to 3D graphics.
We can use NLPs to have natural conversations and virtual assistants. So OpenAIs like GPT-4 can be used to process the language instructions and respond to user questions. So what are your thoughts on this?
So the virtual assistant can be used throughout the user's journey, and the level of difficulty can be adjusted based on user's feedback. such as his eyeball movements, his gestures, that can be analyzed, and a hybrid model can be used to perform the same.
We could also train the Facebook AI's CNN-based deep face recognition system. It has a very high accuracy and it has even the option to customize for emotion detection.
Convolutional neural networks basically are really good at spatial hierarchies compared to the recurrent neural networks, which work more on sequential text. And they are robust to noise as well as lighting effects. So this is a good model to go with.
And voice commands could further be integrated with haptic feedback on the mobile devices. So when the user sends a particular select an action, they get some kind of acknowledgement, and this can be really beneficial for the users.
And with haptic feedback, we can also have predictive text completions, which learns from the history of a user or users of that kind, and along with certain movements like some hand movements which actually indicate the completion of text. This can make the user interface very useful.
Coming back, people with autism, they often feel comfortable to pass the instructions verbally rather than going through complex menus, clicking on some links or typing. So we can have voice recognition, which will be helpful for users to just pass the voice commands like check my balance, pay my bills. We can have a voice synthesizer which can convert speech to text AI to process such kind of commands.
We can use OpenAI's Whisper API, which supports 97 languages, and the large version 2 model basically has a real-time factor of 0.1. That is, a 120-second video gets converted to text in 12 seconds.
We can also have gesture recognition systems which uses depth cameras and motion sensors like Microsoft Kinect, which can recognize the actions using this intelligence, artificial intelligence. And we can also have Google's Open Media Pipe, which can actually convert this gesture to text, and this can really generate an accurate conversion.
So banking forms can cause decision fatigue due to a lot of complex language and multiple forms. So we can have an essential mode with the most essential features only provided to the user.
We can also have virtual assistants which actually learns from user input, and it identifies the user's frequent actions, and it actually adapts its tone, provides some services tailored to the individuals using reinforcement learning.
So we can actually have the virtual assistant behave in the moment. So a user's emotions can be detected using smartwatches, and these can be sent as pulses to our system. And when the person is anxious or depressed, it sends these pulses by Bluetooth, and our system basically recognizes it and sends soothing music like binaural beats or comforting language in order to bring the emotional state of the person back to what it was.
And as a final layer, maybe we can think of offering them some kind of environment where they can actually go ahead and play around till they are comfortable with actual actions. So in that way, they will not be worried of the mistakes, and they can actually explore till they are really comfortable with real users.
Yes, a playground really will be helpful here, where they can play around before going to the actual applications. The preferences of the playground can also be transitioned to the real application so that the transition is seamless.
If we are really serious about inclusivity, this is the direction we need to be moving in. Let's set some goals and start building a prototype. I think as a first step, maybe we can start a small pilot program to test our ideas with real users.
Yes, let us create a roadmap and put down all our features, prioritize them, and bring in the larger team. Technology by itself is neutral, and we need to make the applicability neutral. And I'm sure AIML will get us there.
I can already envision the impact that we are going to have. So together, we are not just making banking easier, but we are fostering independence, equal opportunity, and empowerment for an often overlooked community.